My brothers and sisters of the great Igbo nation, Ndigbo Nile Ekene Onu, I stand before you today not just as your president, but as a fellow citizen who feels the weight of our shared history and the hope for our collective future. Over the past few months, our nation has navigated a delicate chapter in our judicial and political journey. The conviction and life imprisonment of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by the Federal High Court in November 2025 was a culmination of a rigorous legal process, a process that tested the resilience of our institutions and the patience of our people. I have heard your voices. I have felt the pulse of the Southeast, the region that serves as the heartbeat of Nigerian commerce, innovation, and industry. I have received delegations from Ohaneze and Ndigbo, held consultations with the Southeast Governors Forum, and listened to the passionate pleas of the Southeast Caucus in the National Assembly. Your message is clear. The quest for peace in the Southeast is inextricably linked to the resolution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's fate. Leadership is not merely about the enforcement of laws. It is about the healing of wounds. My administration is not blind to the complexities of our union. We acknowledge the historical grievances, the economic aspirations, and the cultural pride of the Igbo people. However, we must also uphold the sanctity of the Nigerian state and the safety of every citizen, from the farmer in Ebonyi to the trader in Onitsha. The court has spoken. The law has taken its course. But as the President of this Federal Republic, the Constitution grants me the power of the prerogative of mercy. This power is not a tool for political expediency, but a sacred instrument for national reconciliation. Today, I am prepared to offer a path forward, a path toward a presidential pardon for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to the strength of our democracy and our commitment to an inclusive Nigeria. However, a pardon is a contract of trust. For this trust to be established and for the security of our nation to be guaranteed, I am setting forth 7 fundamental conditions that must be met before such clemency is finalized. The 7 conditions for presidential pardon. To ensure that the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu leads to lasting peace rather than renewed instability, the following conditions are non-negotiable. 1. Formal renunciation of violence and agitation for secession. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must depose to an affidavit formally and publicly renouncing any pursuit of the sovereign state of Biafra through secessionist means. He must commit to the indivisibility of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as enshrined in the 1999 Constitution as amended. The era of Biafra or death must end, and the era of Nigeria for all must begin. 2. Total dissolution of the Eastern Security Network, ESN. For a pardon to be considered, there must be a verifiable and complete disbandment of the Eastern Security Network and all other paramilitary wings associated with the proscribed IPOB. All arms, ammunition, and hardware currently held by these groups must be surrendered to the Nigerian security forces under a supervised Arms for Peace program. 3. Immediate and permanent cessation of sit-at-home orders. The economic strangulation of the Southeast must stop. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must issue a directive to all his followers across all platforms to permanently end the Monday sit-at-home and any other unauthorized disruptions of public life. Our children must go to school, and our markets must remain open every day of the week without fear of intimidation. 4. Public commitment to the democratic process. The path to changing a democracy is through the ballot box, not through the boycott of elections. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must publicly urge his supporters to participate fully in the Nigerian democratic process. Any further calls to disrupt or boycott local, state, or federal elections will be viewed as a violation of the spirit of this pardon. 5. Engagement in a structured national dialogue. Upon its release, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shall be required to participate in a Southeast Peace and Reconciliation Commission. This commission, composed of traditional rulers, religious leaders, and state officials, will work to address the root causes of agitation and ensure that the grievances of the region are channeled through the Southeast Development Commission, SCDC, and other legitimate constitutional avenues. 6. Cease and desist from incendiary broadcasts. The use of media, be it traditional or digital, to incite hatred against other ethnic groups or to threaten the lives of security personnel and public officials must end. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must commit to a code of conduct that promotes national cohesion and mutual respect among all Nigerian tribes. 7. A period of state-supervised reintegration. The pardon will be subject to a 5-year good behavior monitoring period. During this time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's movements and public engagements will be subject to security clearances to ensure that the conditions of his release are strictly adhered to. Any breach of these conditions will result in the immediate revocation of the pardon and the reinstatement of his life sentence. A call to my Igbo brothers and sisters. To the elders of the Southeast, I say, help us guide your youth. To the governors, I say, let us build the infrastructure that will make the Southeast the Taiwan of Africa. To the traders and artisans, I say, your prosperity is Nigeria's prosperity. We cannot build a nation by tearing it apart. We cannot find justice through the barrel of a gun. The conviction of Nnamdi Kanu was a victory for the law, but his potential pardon can be a victory for the soul of Nigeria. I am extending a hand of fellowship. I am offering a bridge over the chasm of division. Let it be recorded that in the year 2026, we chose the difficult path of forgiveness over the easy path of retribution. We chose to be Nigerians first, and in doing so, we honored the sacrifices of our ancestors. The ball is now in the court of those who speak for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the leadership of his followers. Let us choose peace. Let us choose progress. Let us choose Nigeria. May God bless the Igbo nation. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My brothers and sisters of the great Igbo nation, Ndigbo Nile Ekene Muno. I stand before you today not just as your president, but as a fellow citizen who feels the weight of our shared history and the hope for our collective future. Over the past few months, Our nation has navigated a delicate chapter in our judicial and political journey. The conviction and life imprisonment of Nnamdi Kanu by the Federal High Court in November 2025 was a culmination of a rigorous legal process, a process that tested the resilience of our institutions and the patience of our people